Welcome, everyone, to episode number 51 of Talkin Kentucky. My name is Coleman Scott, and his name is Caden Holmes. And Caden, it's been a whole year. Yesterday was our 1-year anniversary of the release of our very first podcast, episode number 1, Talking Peacocks. But I don't really advise that anybody should go back and listen to that one, Caden, because I think we've gotten a lot better since then. That's for sure.
Yeah, don't listen to that one. I probably said some embarrassing things that I probably don't want to hear again. Yeah, I won't be listening to it, and I advise our audience to not either.
Part of me kind of like wants to go back and listen to it though, because I think it would be funny, like to go back
Maybe
and
when we get to 100,
how much we need to take one episode one time and just like go analyze like what we did, like just kind of break down the film a little bit, see if we can learn. Yeah. Like try to learn from it and that kind of thing. I think that would be good. We've got Clyde and Josh already in the comments here, our two biggest fans. Josh says congratulations. Thanks, Josh, so much on the 1-year thing. And Clyde said talking year 1 built different. Is that going to be the name of this episode? Year 1 built different.
He's coming up with it early, so it could be.
I think so. So, Caden, I was getting a lot of things ready before the show, and I was trying to add the video that we were talking about premiering on this episode, and I don't have it uploaded on the StreamYard thing yet because that is one thing I forgot to do. But if you give me a moment, I can do that, and we will play that video. I think just with the touch of a button, I'm going to be able to put it on here. Should I? No. Okay. It says, whoops, that file is a bit too large. The size limit for video clips is 200 megabytes. Okay. But I can present it.
Can you screen share? Yeah.
We're producing on the fly here. We're like KSR now.
Screen share. Yeah. Just like KSR. Josh says we're better than KSR. So
well, he did say that, and that might even have made its way into the video. So yeah, just to start off the episode, you might remember, we did sort of a 6-month celebratory highlight video of Talking Kentucky stuff, and we decided to do a 1-year one too, Caden, because if you did a 6-month one, you've got to do a 1-year one too, right? I mean, that's the only logical thing to do, I would think.
Yeah, for sure. And in this 1-year one, it becomes very obvious. I think we've improved a little bit. At least it's funnier, I think. So that's what we're going for, right?
I think we're getting there. So part of what I do for these little highlight videos is, Kate and I, we just like go through and try to search just some funny stuff that we've said, and we basically put it over our theme song, Guts and Bourbon, and that's the whole video. I've never had to search very hard for funny stuff we've said, but this time I really didn't have to search very hard. It was more this time, it was about like, what do we not put in there? Because there was a lot of old stuff. You could just drop the needle, man. You just drop the needle on an episode, and pretty much everything we say is gold. Calls
are great too.
Yeah, the calls are great. It's everything is. It's gotten a lot better. So yeah. So I want to start off this episode. But I think we got the video queued up here now, ready to go. So I want to start off episode number 51 of Talking Kentucky with this highlight video from year 1. So we're going to roll this here, and yeah, this will be the premiere, Caden. I was going to release it before the episode, but it's going to be the premiere of this 1-year video. I think what better way to actually premiere it on the episode?
Let's do
it. All right. Talking year 1 here, everybody, and welcome in to episode number 33 of Talking Kentucky.
As I said before, NIL is ruining everything, and Coleman, we might need to get into something like horse racing.
All right, we going back to the burger division,
unless they pull a Virginia.
What's up, guys? It's Josh.
Need more cowbell. Well, the way I look at it is this fight song is very fitting for Vandy because it sucks, and so does Vandy.
All right, what was the question?
Why can we not shoot the basketball?
I think I'm gonna have to go Robert Morris.
Robert Morris.
The man of the people. That's what I want to be.
Tell me you're going to offend some people with those severe comments.
I'm just sick and tired of our guys getting smashed down there. Smashed!
I like almonds. I'm not a fan of almond milk because I think that's a juice. That's not a milk. Coleman's just not a fan of Naveen.
We just got to beat Kansas, and then all will be right in the world. You know,
we just got to beat Grady Dick. Is that Shane Sharp? That's Cody's favorite player.
Love the show. It's just going to get bigger and better, and you guys are way better than KSR.
I really haven't watched any South Carolina basketball. I know that's probably shocking. If you propose to your significant other at Cracker Barrel,
what's that like?
Wait, your mom went to school with Turtle Man?
Yep.
If I would have told you that we were going to lose to Kansas State in the second round,
I wouldn't have watched the game this season. I'm going to go tentative S tier on this one. Like, I'm going to put it S, but I'm not that happy about it.
Oh, Rocky Flop. Oh, Rocky Flop. Oh, Rocky Flop. Oh, Rocky.
Hey, Patrick Sparks. He's a junior. He's going to come back next year, you know?
What the hell is Jack in the Box? We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this Chinese spy balloon.
We keep hearing about these McDonald's All-Americans and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, we've had a lot of those.
Was he the one that made the big political statement a few years back?
No, that was Colin Kaepernick.
You're telling me you're going to put this in the same tier as Whataburger, Chick-fil-A, and Arby's?
Yeah. We'll have Turtle Man on, and then we'll have like Perry Stevenson, and then we'll kind of jump up the list there.
I wanted to go to Carolina. That's my dream school. Really? Tell you the story about that. A lot of people don't know that.
Something happened. They told me this story.
They fucked it up.
I know.
Believe it or not, I have Talkin Kentucky. Like, I have the number saved on my phone. And it says
Coleman, is that your girlfriend in your background?
I'm only 20 years away from being 46, so I still got a while.
Well, what's the significance of 46?
I don't know. It's just something like, I'm like, hey, it's just an age.
I don't know what they're doing. I mean, that's probably that's why they didn't beat South Carolina.
Yeah.
Had Emma King on the bench.
This has been episode number 46 of Talkin Kentucky, and we'll see you next week. Go Cats, go Talkin Kentucky, go Tears, go Fight Songs.
Smashed.
Smashed!
There we go, Caden. That's the 1 year Talkin Kentucky video there.
Yeah, half that stuff I forgot that I even said. But
I know, right?
Awesome hearing it so out of context.
I actually like going back and listening to some of the old episodes because I kind of forget what we had said. So it's almost like listening to it for the first time. So it's kind of like being an audience member. You can go back and you can listen, fresh, and it's nice.
I think my favorite part, I think I already told you this, but one of my favorite parts was, so your mom went to school with Turtle Man?
And he's like, yep. That was Scott Lee, right? Yeah, that's awesome, man. So hey, I think his hat is ready. So I've got that in the mail, on its way to Scott for the championship Talkin Kentucky hat.
That he didn't even know he won.
Yeah, that's right. That he didn't even know he won. Claude says great video. Josh in here says that was great. And Claude says my song "Old Rocky Flop" is a hit. Yes, it is, Claude. That made it in there. Okay, and there were some gold moments in that video. That's for sure.
Yeah, there was. I love how you faded the guts and bourbon out just to get the Rocky Flop in there. That was really professional editing. Well done.
Oh yeah. It was high quality, Hollywood kind of stuff. So wanted to roll that video to start off the episode. Thought that'd be a good way to kick it off. We'll put that up on our Facebook page after the episode, and then we'll put it up on our YouTube channel as well. So subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't done that yet. Speaking of haven't done it yet, Caden, we haven't done our holidays for today yet. But I think the video is a better way to start the episode. But I'm going to close out of my trumpetexcerpts.org Ives Variations on America on my desktop here, and I'm going to pull up the National Today holidays. Yeah, I don't think it's really appropriate to play on the show right now. So
maybe episode 100.
Maybe like 4th of July week. We might pull that out. We can even play it as a duet. Caden, that excerpt plays a duet most of the time, right? It's never played as a solo.
Well, it was the perfect time to play trumpet with the derby going on and everything.
We could have played the Call to the Post. How do we not do that?
Is there like a duet version of that? We
can make one.
That's true.
Just play in unison. Well, anyway, today is Fantastic Friday, which I guess it has to do with sharks because there's a picture of a shark on here. There's no explanation. It just says it's Fantastic Friday. Okay, and I'm going to the beach this summer. I feel like the first time in a long time. Are you going to the beach?
I'm going to Disney, so I'll be close to the water, close-ish, but no, probably not.
I used to get out there and I used to like boogie board and like, or skim board, like whatever, or just go out and like swim in the ocean. I don't think I'm ever going to get in the ocean again. I mean, I don't know why. I used to swim in the ocean. We have swimming pools for that. With all the things that can go wrong, I don't see the point of swimming in the ocean. So
we went down to Florida last year and we literally saw like almost every day we saw sharks swimming by.
Yeah, it's like what's the purpose? Like what is the advantage of swimming in the ocean versus a swimming pool? I don't really get it.
The waves, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, but you can even get in one of those like wave pool things. They have those now. It's 2023. We can get in those. I feel like that would the sharkless, shark-proof things would probably be the better way to go.
That's true.
But nevertheless, it's International Nurses Day today. I know a bunch of nurses, Caden. I'm not a nurse, but I've got a bunch of nurses in my life. So happy International Nurses Day, all those people.
I'm not close with any nurses, but I know we went to school with a bunch of nurses and everything. So happy Nurses Day to them.
Joke's on us because they're probably making all the money, and we're sitting here podcasting and doing and playing the trumpet. So that's not always where the money is. It's National Anthony Day, so Anthony Davis. Happy National Anthony Day. Do we have any other
Tonys out there?
Yeah, I could do like Tony Delk if you count him in the Anthony Day kind of thing. Are there any other Kentucky Anthonys we can think of?
Is it Anthony Epps?
Anthony Epps, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Anthony Epps in the Patino days. He's a good one. Yeah. Cody Peebler says you got a better chance getting hit by a school bus than getting attacked by a shark. But the thing is, there's a chance for both of those things to happen. So I'd rather just not experience either one of those things. I think my life would be better not getting hit by a bus or getting attacked by a shark.
So the real question is, you have a better chance of being in a plane crash or getting bit by a shark?
I'm probably going to go shark there. It depends on how much you swim in the ocean.
Yeah.
Depends
who your pilot is.
Speaking of Anthony Day, Claude says, go Anthony Davis, Lakers in 6 tonight. Caden, you been watching any of the NBA playoffs? Because to be honest, I haven't really.
No, Clyde has all the NBA knowledge in our podcast.
He's our NBA correspondent. Cody is our Shaden Sharp correspondent, who also made the Talkin Kentucky video.
Both vital roles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I haven't been keeping up. It's hard to get excited about basketball when you're a Kentucky fan lately. It's hard to get up of any kind of basketball.
Are you excited at all for next season?
Well, we're going to talk about that's some of my topics. The short answer is no, but we'll get back into it.
Sorry for the spoiler.
Yeah, no, that's okay. It's National You Dig Day. Well, I don't know what that means, but you dig, Caden?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. Let's get one more in here. It's National Shades Day, like Sunglasses Day, like Shady Rays, like
Shades of Blue,
or Shades of Blue. Yeah. We don't have a sunglasses sponsor here on Talkin Kentucky, but I feel like we need that. But yeah, Shades of Blue Trumpet Ensemble. I think that can count too. I got these sunglasses, that I got. I got these at the SEC Network, SEC Nation thing they did down at LSU.
Oh, is that when you got a picture with your girlfriend?
Yeah, Laura Rutledge. Sure did. Yeah. Got sunglasses and a picture. It was a good day. Cody said Sharp's jersey's going up at Rupp. Caden, did you see that picture of well, no, it was you that sent it to our group, right?
Yeah, it's already in the practice facility.
Yeah, Shade, if you didn't know this already, guys, Shaden Sharp's jersey is hanging up in the men's basketball, or not jersey, but his like banner, his picture and everything is hanging up in the practice facility. So yeah, next thing is his jersey's going to be
only a matter
retired
of time.
Yeah. And Clyde says it's not a show without hearing about Shaden Sharp. Am I right? Yeah. I mean, it's a tradition at this point. We just got to keep it up.
Never forget.
Said,
Hashtag never forget.
Hashtag never forget. That's right. That being said, those are our holidays for today. And Caden, one more way I wanted to start off the episode here. I was on Brad Harvey's podcast last night, the college sports cast, and of course Josh and Clyde were on there in the audience as always, because I feel like Josh and Clyde are the biggest supporters of like Kentucky podcast on the web.
They tagged me in that, and I saw it like after the show was done. But I listened to the opening of the show. I listened to a few minutes of it. It was pretty entertaining.
Oh, it was good. It was good. We talked all Kentucky stuff, so go back and check that out if you can. But anyway, I say that because I teased that we had a couple big announcements tonight to make about a couple big names that we're going to have on the show this summer. So we've already announced that we're going to have, big names. We've already announced that we're going to have Freddie Maggard on, right? And we've already announced that we're going to have Corey Price on this summer. If you haven't heard that yet, then there you go. We're going to have Freddie Maggard and Corey Price on. And Caden, I know you got one to introduce, and I got one I'm going to introduce. So we don't really have a drum roll, but, I will sort of, as much as I can, do a little drum roll here. So, all right, Caden, are you ready for our first little announcement of our next guest we're going to have on?
Let's hear it.
All right, so drum roll. Actually, you know what? Better than the drum roll is the Bruce Pearl smashed, right? So, I mean, this is truly our drum roll.
Smashed!
Okay, there we go. Yeah, there's.
I'm ready now.
Okay, yeah, so we're going to have on the show this summer, Maggie Davis is going to come on the show with us. I'm super excited about that. Got to talk with her a little bit last week, and she said that she would be more than happy to come on a little later in the summer. If you've seen her lately, she has her arm in a sling. So life's a little hectic right now, but once she gets out of the sling, she can get back on the field, in action, and she can come on the show. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. So she's injured right now?
She apparently she's injured. Yeah, I don't know how she got injured. I just know that when I was watching the Derby, her arm was in a sling, and she told me, I'll even read you verbatim what she said here. Let's see. She said, life is hectic right now while I'm in this shoulder sling. So that's confirmation to me that she's on the injury reserve there. So, but she'll be coming on at some point. So
I wish her a speedy recovery so she can come on the show. I'm looking forward to that.
That's right.
Gosh, Clyde's looking forward to it too.
Guess so.
So are we ready for mine now?
Yeah. What do we need another drum roll? Do we need another Bruce Pearl here? Let's go.
Do it.
Smashed!
All right. So Coleman and I were talking, and we were talking about how, like, for example, I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast every now and then, and the thing I love about his podcast is he has such a variety of people on there. Like, he'll have Ben Shapiro on there one episode, and the next episode he'll have just like Elon Musk or just like anyone. And it's really cool hearing all those stories. So I was thinking about people we knew outside of sports, but also like with the UK connection. And so my brother went to school with a trumpet player, actually, and he ended up making it big in Nashville. He's playing piano for Luke Combs right now. But I'm friends with him on Facebook, so I reached out to him. We talked a little bit, but yeah, we're gonna have Corey Hunt on the show. He is Luke Combs' piano player, and he's really from talking to Jonathan and just talking to him a little bit. He's a really cool guy. So I'm looking forward to getting him on here and hearing his story. And he's a big UK fan, but just hearing how he went from playing trumpet at UK to playing piano for Luke Coleman, that'll be really cool.
That's quite a transition, if I'm being honest here. I'm gonna see if I can pull up this. There's this really cool picture of like Luke Combs and Corey Hunt like side by side, so you can get a little bit better picture of what he looks like here. But yeah, Luke Combs is pianist, and that's gonna be he's a Kentucky boy, former trumpet player. So if you're from Kentucky and you play trumpet, then you've got to be on Talkin' Kentucky. I mean, that's like all the criteria you need to meet to be on Talkin' Kentucky. Let's see if I can pull this up here. I don't know if I can get this picture up on the screen or not. I'll work on that. You know what picture I'm talking about, Caden? Of Luke and Corey?
Is it the one you sent me of him and Corey in the background?
Yeah, it is. I don't know if okay, share screen. Let's see, this will work here. I feel like we're back in COVID with Zoom. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see if this works. Oh, it's gonna work. Okay, well, you know what? We'll post it on the page later, or I'll try to work on getting it queued up. It's weird trying to share. You can share videos, but you can't really share pictures. It's weird. So
that is odd. Clyde says Luke Combs is the man.
Yeah, I was going to say Naveen's. He says, Naveen, stop commenting. Where are you, Naveen? You want Naveen to come back? But anyway, yes, he says Luke Combs is the man. Actually, you know what?
Clyde, what I like about Luke Combs is, yeah, we see it.
Here we go. That's the Dollar Tree way to see. That's Luke Combs right there, and that's Corey Hunt. So that's the guy that's coming on the show right there.
How did you find that?
How did I find that? I went to his Facebook. I stalked his Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
Not that hard.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Josh,
you can find anyone these days except for Patrick Sparks.
Yeah, I know. We've been trying to search for Patrick Sparks. Josh Hartz has got some birthdays today. Keith Bogans, Quade Green, and Nate Sestina might be former players' birthdays, but those are the three I know of. Okay, yeah, those are three cats there. Who's celebrating.
I got to ever hear those three in the same sentence.
Claude Harris's Ice Cold Beer Never Broke My Heart. That's one question that I want to ask Corey when he comes on is what's your favorite Luke Combs song? Caden, what is your favorite Luke Combs song if you had to pick one?
Clyde's got a good pick there. That's one of my.
That's a good one.
My favorites.
I don't know if that's my favorite one, but that's a good one.
The thing that I like about Luke Combs is that he brings a bunch of the older country guys back and he sings with them.
Yes.
Not many people do that. And Luke uses real instruments too. Like not these stupid snap tracks.
Yeah, I know, right? He's a real musician. He doesn't use trumpets, I guess, last time I checked, but maybe Corey will break out his trumpet one time. But I like When It Rains, It Pours. I think that's another good one. The Kind of Love We Make. That's a good one.
And he put up a video of them like playing that at some football field. Did you see that? Got a steel guitar. Yeah, it's really good.
Every Little Bit Helps is a good one. One Too Many is a good one. Man, I don't think I've heard a bad Luke Combs. Now to come to think of it, I don't think I've heard a bad Luke Combs song. No, so, sure. Josh Hart's Beautiful Crazy. That's a good one. But yeah, so wanted to make that announcement that those are two people we're really excited to have on. So we got quite a lineup for this summer already, and I'm sure I haven't talked to John Huang about coming on again, but I'm sure John Huang will come on again. So we say John Huang, Freddie Maggard, Corey Price, Maggie Davis, and Corey Hunt. I mean, that's a real good lineup, Caden.
Yeah.
So
came up with a pretty good list there.
Yeah, we'll keep. That's a good starting lineup. It's a good starting five right there. So we'll keep you all updated if we get any more guests on. But wanted to make that announcement to start off the show. Well, Caden, I had my first crawfish. I don't know if I mentioned it last episode, but I had my first crawfish boil down here in Louisiana, and I have to say it was pretty good. They're a lot of work to eat for not much of a reward. It's a lot of work
problem.
A little bit, but I think it's good. We actually dipped them in cane sauce, so that was a nice addition to it. And also, along with my first crawfish, I had my first Yingling. That's, if you don't know, that's Caden's favorite beer is Yingling, and I'd never had a Yingling. So
it's the best.
Funny enough, my first Yingling, first crawfish boil is at my church. So didn't expect to have my first Yingling at church, but that's what happened. So
yeah, you hit all bases there. Yeah, crawfish. I guess it's good, but I just don't think it's worth it. It's not worth the time. And
yeah.
honestly, I don't really like my food looking back at me when I'm about to eat
Well,
it.
that's a good point. They did have the eyes in there, which is a little weird. But you just try not to think about it. It's more of a cultural thing. It's more of like a social event than it is like, oh man, crawfish are so good. It's just more
It's like
of
a
like
sport for them.
yeah.
Boiling
Well,
crawfish. It's like a sport for them
it is like
because
a
you boil
sport.
them live.
Well, yeah, I didn't see. We had it catered. We didn't boil it ourselves. I mean, we had it brought in. We had. You want to know how many pounds of crawfish we had?
100 pounds.
700 pounds of
Man.
crawfish.
A
That's
big
a lot
church.
of crawfish. Yeah, that's it. Well, it was like we invited anybody that wanted to come. It was open to all LSU students, but we didn't have like the whole campus or anything. We probably had we had a fair number come through, but it's not that many. But shrimp boil is better. Cody says. I also had shrimp that night. We also did have some boiled shrimp. So I think that was good too. Caden,
Yeah, shrimp would be my pick.
Are you a shrimp fan?
Yeah, for sure.
I've never gotten into shrimp much, but I never really eat seafood that much. But I guess since now I'm living basically on the Gulf Coast, I should really start to partake more. But
yeah, you're not into shrimp and you don't know what Jack in the Box is.
Yeah, I was very not clear on what I still don't know what Jack in the Box is. You said it was like tacos or something. It doesn't look like it would be a taco place.
Well, they got tacos, but it's like tacos and burgers, basically. Real cheap.
Do they have Jack in the Box in Kentucky? Because I think I've only noticed it down here.
Yeah, I think it's just a far south thing.
By the way, Josh Hart says Blood Honey by Revolver Brewing Company is the best beer ever, but Yingling is good beer too. Josh is talking me into it, man. I need to try one of these now. Like it sounds pretty good.
I mean, I think there's better beer out there, but as far as just casual, like not break the bank beer, that's why I say Yingling.
It's a good go-to. Man, the next 6-pack I buy, next time I buy beer, probably be Yingling. I think you talked me into it. So, well, now if we want to get into some Kentucky stuff and to dive more into the question that Caden had earlier of if I'm even excited for the year next year, a lot of that's going to depend on what the roster looks like. It seems to me, Caden, like at least in the last week, there's been a lot of scuttlebutt that the NBA is kind of telling Chris Livingston that he should come back to school, and that and actually Brad brought up a good point on the show last night. Brad thinks that Jacob Toppin has a better chance of being drafted than Chris Livingston, which I don't think is crazy. So I think it would be in Chris Livingston's best interest coming back. 2 weeks ago, I didn't really think that he was going to come back at all. I didn't think there was a chance, but now I'm thinking there is a chance. But what do you think, Caden, about the Chris Livingston stuff?
Honestly, I think he's still gone. Just for the simple fact, knowing who his agent isn't the same agent as LeBron James has.
Is that Clutch Sports?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the same guys that were just trying to get Bradshaw out at USC, right?
I believe so.
I think it was Clutch Sports, yeah.
So in other words, they'll find a way to get him in there somewhere. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Well, that you bring up a really good point. But can you imagine like how much better we would be if he comes back? I think that he would have a jump from year 1 to year 2 like Terrence Jones had. And I don't think if we didn't have sophomore Terrence Jones on that 2012 team, I don't know that we would have won the title. I mean, having Anthony Davis help, but I think Terrence played a key role on that team for sure.
He for sure did. What position? I mean, do you think he would play the same position next year? Chris Livingston?
He'd probably pay it. So if Chris Livingston came back, you'd probably put Wagner at the 1, and wouldn't you say Dillingham at the 2?
Or Dillingham at the 1, Wagner at the 2, probably.
Okay, so yeah, and then probably Chris at the 3, And then Cal's saying he's going to play Bradshaw at the 4, even though I don't really get that. But then Oscar at the 5, if Oscar comes back, would be.
It'd be awesome having Justin Edwards off the bench.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be solid.
That would be insane. That could be a platoon type thing going on there, right? I think
we can only hope.
Yeah. I hope he comes back, man. That would be good. What are you feeling about Oscar?
I still don't think he's coming back. I think he should.
I think it's more likely this week, though. I feel better about Oscar coming back like today than I did this time last week, though. And I don't really know
60-40 kind of thing for me, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But I'm feeling better about it this week than I did last week. So, we'll see what happens. But can you imagine if we were to get Oscar or Chris Livingston back? I mean, I think that would be really huge. And then what confuses me even more, though, it's getting into my next thing on this list, is we're going after so many Chris Livingston replacements, quote unquote, in the portal right now. We're going after the San Diego State kid who was on campus like yesterday and today, and he just left. And we're going after a big kid from NC State. And then apparently this Kobe Brown kid on Missouri, you remember when he, destroyed us last year?
Oh, we're still looking at him?
Apparently he's in the portal now. So apparently we're kind of looking at him too. So there's all these guys that we're kind of looking at for replacements of that kind of forward position. So that kind of tells me that coaching staff isn't confident that they're going to get Chris back or even Oscar. But I don't know, Caden, what do you feel? Are there any of those guys that you would you'd be excited about getting?
I'm not very familiar with those guys, but I cannot see them being better than Livingston. I mean, my pick would for sure be Livingston on this one, and he'd bring some experience and he'd start for us, and I think it would be in his best interest. But unfortunately, at this moment, I don't see him coming back. I think he's wanted to go to the NBA all along after his first year.
Yeah. I think so too. I mean, if we got one of those three kids I just mentioned, like the San Diego State kid, the NC State kid, or the Kobe Brown kid from Missouri, which one would you want to get? I have my answer, but
well, didn't Missouri light us up?
Fair point. Yes, they did. I would want to go.
Most likely we're getting Kashad Johnson, right?
Yeah, I think is that the San Diego State kid?
I think so. I think aren't they saying this week he could commit?
Yeah.
They made the championship game, didn't they? Or Final Four, whatever.
They made the championship. Yeah, they were playing UConn in the championship, which is crazy. Who saw San Diego State and UConn in the championship? I mean, I guess Scott Solis saw UConn in the championship. That's why he got the hat. But he also had us in the championship. So Chris Livingston to USC, Claude says. This is another thing Brad and I talked about last night is the deadline to enter the transfer portal. You didn't have to announce it, but the deadline to fill out the paperwork to enter the transfer portal was last night at midnight. So do you think there is a chance that Chris could come back to college, but it not be on Kentucky, Caden?
No.
I
don't see him transferring. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, nothing would surprise me at this point, but it would be tough for me to see him transfer. I mean, wouldn't he be an idiot too? Like he would start, wouldn't he?
He would start. Yeah. But like I thought always under the assumption he liked UK.
Well, we're under the assumption of a lot of things here at Kentucky.
Yes. We really don't know.
Yes, sure. We don't know
anything, but could you see Oscar transferring still?
I would be shocked. That would suck, wouldn't it?
It
Oscar transferred. That would really suck.
But people act like he's more likely than Chris Livingston is.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. Colorado, Caden, Colorado Buffaloes. Would you like to know, or do you know the number of players they have had enter the transfer portal? You know the number that has gone up to now.
50.
Higher.
Are you serious?
71.
Out of 80?
Out of 85. Yeah. 71 out of 85 are entered the transfer portal. And one of those players that is staying is Deion's son. So I don't really count him. So that really only makes 13 players that haven't transferred from Colorado this offseason.
So why do you think that is? Like that something's going on there. You can't tell me it's just that he's telling them they're not good enough or something. Like
no. Yeah, something's
that's a red flag.
Like the whole team. That's like the whole team. Isn't that crazy?
That's a red flag.
Yeah, that is not a green flag. That is a red flag. So, but despite all that, Caden, I saw this stat about the betting odds for Colorado to win the national championship on On3 the other day. Colorado is the 6th most bet on team to win the national championship on BetMGM per John Ewing. Overall, that's 8.1% of the total bets. Colorado has plus 25,000 odds to win the national championship. Multiple sports books have set the Buffs win total at 3.5 for this year. And yet they're the 6th most bet on team to win the national championship just because of all the Deion Sanders hype.
Yeah, I'm more in agreement with the 3.5 games than I am the championship. If they just lost 71 players.
Yeah, I won't be making any 0-12 mayonnaise and coffee bets on Colorado this year, but I don't really think that they're going to win the national championship either. I think it's just the truth lies somewhere in between those two outcomes. So
you're not going to be making any bets like that, dude.
I'll say this. And I think this is a safer bet than last year. If Colorado wins the national championship, I will drink mayonnaise and coffee, and I will drink the entire cup.
Yeah, you took like a sip.
Yeah, well, I took multiple sips, but I by no means did drink the entire cup. So, but yeah, I'm going on record, and I feel like that's much safer than my previous bet on if Colorado won a single game, which they did. They won one game. Then I would drink mayonnaise and coffee. One sip for one win.
Is Josh Hart a Deion Sanders fan?
Yeah, I mean,
Deion Sanders and his ways that holds his players accountable.
I like him as a coach. There's this video of he wanted like all his players to have on black socks or something. It was either black socks or white socks. I can't remember, in the weight room. And this kid had on the wrong color pair of socks. And he went over to him and he said, and he kicked him out of the weight room because he had on the wrong color pair of socks. That's how strict he is. I don't really know the point of that, but like he holds his players accountable, like Josh just said there. That's for sure. So
I can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine. I don't know. I guess that makes sense why 71 guys have left if they can't even wear any other. They got to wear one colored pair of socks. So,
well, Shannon Sharp, not Shaden Sharp, but Shannon Sharp on Skip Bayless's show the other day basically made this point of how does Kentucky not have 3 or 4 national championships with all this talent that they have that's killing it in the NBA right now, which a lot of Kentucky fans were mad at that, but Caden, I would have to agree with him on that.
It's a valid statement. Valid question.
I think it absolutely is. And there are 4 Kentucky players in the NBA this postseason that are averaging 20 points a game. Could you guess those 4 players?
Probably Booker.
Booker's one of them. Yep. Devin Booker.
Shai Gilgeous.
He's not one of them, actually. That's a good guess, though. He would have been one of my guesses, I think.
Bam Adebayo.
Bam is not one either. There's a big one that you're missing.
Oh, Davis.
Anthony Davis is one. Yep. So there's 2 more. Think of one that's been really killing it recently. A couple nights ago, had a big game.
I see. I didn't watch the game the other night.
Only did because it was on
Gosh.
at the bar I was at, and I was with a fan of the team.
I know the Celtics. The Celtics played the other night. Who did
Josh,
they
we
play?
already got Booker. We've said Booker and Davis. Josh said Booker in the comments here. So we got Booker and
Celtics
Davis.
played the Sixers. Maxey.
Yep, Maxey's
Yeah.
one of them. Then there's one more out in my old neck of the woods.
The Pelicans?
No, my old neck of the woods.
Oh, see who even plays for Denver? I don't know.
Oh, you don't know the Blue Arrow?
The Blue. Oh, I can Murray. Jamal Murray.
Yeah, Jamal Murray. Yeah,
I didn't even know he was in the playoffs. Wow.
Yeah. So Anthony Davis, Tyrese Maxey, Jamal Murray, and Devin Booker are all averaging 20 points a game this postseason. Yeah, Clyde got it there. Jamal Murray. Clyde says Suns will never see a championship. Do you believe that, Caden? Or do you think the Suns will get it? I don't know, man. With Durant and Booker and all these guys.
Yeah, they'll get there. They'll get there.
They'll
definitely get there. They'll I mean, they had that back in the day with Nash and Stoudemire. They were killing it. But I think they'll get back.
So yeah, that's all I say. So I don't want to get into this too much. At least not the details of it. But I did want to bring up, how did Bob Huggins not get fired? Like, all the people that are getting fired left and right these days for much less than what he did, like, how is he not gone?
My question before that is, why did he even say that on the air? Like, you got to think, this probably isn't a good idea to say this. Like, it's got to go through his mind at some point, right?
Yeah. I don't know how people mess up that bad and say something, because it's not like it was a slip of the tongue, because he said it twice. You know,
it was on purpose.
It was on purpose. And some people said that, well, maybe he didn't know he was on the air. Maybe it was in private. Well, that makes it even worse, because that means that's how he actually feels. If he didn't,
how do you not know he was on the air?
Yeah, well, I think that's BS in the first place. But even if he didn't, that would, I think, make it even worse.
Wasn't it literally a call-in show?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a radio show in Cincinnati, and he had he called in, so they had Bob Huggins on, and then the radio show after that said something like the host of the radio show was like, "Oh man, it and Bob great," or something after he hung up. It's like, man, and then, you know, who knows if anything will happen to him, but I just was surprised that he was not fired. I mean, they're making him go through sensitivity training. Whatever. I mean, that's the biggest, like, just slap on the wrist ever, right? Sensitivity training. He's not going to care about that. And then there's like they're going to reduce his salary by $1 million, which sounds like a lot, but it's not for him, right? I mean, I don't know how much he makes a year, but it's more than $1 million. I think he's going to be.
I immediately thought about Oscar for some reason.
Yeah,
whenever I heard that.
No wonder Oscar had problems with them. You know, like no wonder Oscar didn't get along with the guy.
Yeah, but then again, I think he probably didn't hear the cleanest things said in UK's practices either.
No, but this was not just a clean issue. This was a slur. So, like, that's that's beyond that. But did you see Dickinson's NIL comment where he basically said, "Yeah, I'm going to Kansas because they pay me the most money"? It's basically exactly what he said. He said, "The people hating on me would leave their job right now for a $10,000 increase. I got less than 6 figures at Michigan for the year," which, boo-hoo, getting less than 6 figures. We're all getting less than 6 figures. But that's basically why he went to Kansas, is because they gave him the most money. But, I mean, you can't blame him. But, I mean, that's what we were all speculating, and then he literally said that. So,
Yeah, Steven the other night was asking me, so why did Dickinson go to Kansas? I said, well, he's making like $4 million or whatever. And he's like, oh, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I remember sending that audio clip. Yeah, that's funny. And it does make sense. That's absolutely true. Claude says, when are you taking calls here? And we're going to take calls now. So we'll go and open up the phones. 502-234-1504. Give us a shout. Celebrate our 1 year of Talking Kentucky, which was technically yesterday. So it's a year and a day now, which we've come a long way since that first episode. Speaking of 71 transfers for Colorado, Caden, I looked at how many episodes we actually have with our post-game shows and everything combined. 71. We have 71 total shows.
It's the winning number.
It is. Yeah, it's the rule of 71. That's right. Claude, how's it going, man?
Going good. How y'all doing?
We're doing well, man. Just happy to be here.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? About the Boston Celtics. I mean, I'm a diehard Celtics fan. I've been a Celtics fan since 7th grade. But I'm also a realist when it comes to Celtics. We haven't won anything since 2008. And, obviously that 2008 squad is better than the squad that we have now. And we're not winning nothing this year. I don't care what people say. I think we should. Jason Tatum is okay. I know he tore it up in the fourth quarter yesterday, but I don't care.
How can you like that? Tatum played for Duke, didn't he? Isn't that right?
Yeah, he played.
Yeah,
he played for Puke. But I think I need four good quarters from him. I don't need one.
Well, I
appreciate him stepping up when it mattered most, but I need that consistently. If he can't continue to be consistent, if I'm the Celtics, I'm looking elsewhere and building a team around Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I can't say I watch a ton of Celtic stuff, but I have the same kind of issue with I try to cheer for the Pelicans when I'm down here, and their kind of star right now is Brandon Ingram, and it's just hard to cheer for a Duke player,
Yeah, it's hard because granted, Brandon Ingram's a stud. He is, but it's really hard, especially not only that, you have Zion, 2 Duke players on the team that you're in the state that you're in at the current moment, and where you are kind of pulling for the Pelicans because you are down there. It's very hard and difficult because the Pelicans have Zion and Brandon Ingram, and it does get hard. It does get hard for me to cheer for Tatum because while I'm a Celtics fan, he's on the Celtics. It does get difficult at times to cheer for him. Yeah, because he did play for Duke. It gets difficult. I understand.
It absolutely does. But Claude, what are you thinking about Oscar Livingston coming back? You feeling like we might get them back at all?
I think no. I don't think Oscar returns. I think him getting invited to the combine was a step in the right direction for his pro career.
Yep.
Livingston has the dumbest handlers I've ever seen or heard in my life. Like, you got these scouts. They wasn't impressed with him at all. When he went through the draft process, they was not impressed. And they're telling him, go back to school. But then you got dumb Clutch over here. I'm beginning to hate Clutch Sports all the guy.
They're trying to steal all our guys. Clutch is.
Yes, they are. And they was trying to take Bradshaw away from us, trying to get him team up with Bronny at USC. And Bradshaw said, no, I'm not doing that. I am a Kentucky Wildcat. And I'm 100% all in on Kentucky.
I was very happy to see that because I was very happy to see that because I was really getting worried about that. Like, I thought it was started as a rumor, but then it started getting pretty legit. So
yeah, I was getting scared. Like, I was getting mad. I was wanting to hit stuff after hearing this stuff. I'm like, what is this? I was like, what is this shit? What am I hearing right now? Like, I'm like, what in the hell is going on? What am I listening to?
Yeah, and I thought he signed a contract. I didn't know he could just switch out of that like that.
Like, what? That's the question. Kate and I talk about this a lot, Claude. but it's this, this whole thing of what does commitment mean anymore? Like,
what's the point of letter of intent?
You commit and sign, and then you can still go somewhere else. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's not what it used to be. It's all about the money. Who's paying you the most?
Yeah, used to you could graduate. You had to graduate in 4 years too.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, usually you had to graduate in 4 years. As Caden said in that video, it used to be like Patrick Sparks Jr. He's coming back next year. We just
and you had to play if you're on the team. That was another thing.
Yeah, you had to play if you're on the team. Yeah, that's another big stipulation and everything. Well,
same with Patterson. Patterson after his sophomore, you're like, okay, he's gonna come back and play for Cal, and Cal made him a totally different player. Cal put him at the power forward position, so he succeeded because he was no center. Because Gillespie was playing him at the center. So I'm glad Cal did what he did, and then Patterson had a decent pro career. So,
well, Claude,
I think Reeves comes back. I'm pretty positive. I like what Jack Pilgrim and them are saying. I'm supposed to say. I'm pretty positive Reeves will return.
I hope he does.
I always thought he was coming back.
We're gonna at least need Reeves, if not an additional shooter to him. But Claude, thanks for calling in as always, and hey, thanks for being a part of our video too.
Oh, you're welcome. I got
46,
which I was like, let's go, but. All right, I'll let other people call in and go Cats.
All right, go Cats, man. All right, man.
What do you say? In 20 years, I'll be 46?
Yeah. Yeah, he said, that was random. He was like, yeah, I'll be 46 in 20 years. And we're like, well, why does that matter? And he's like, oh, I don't know. It's just an age.
It's just an age.
Yeah. It's kind of random. Anybody else wants to call? 502-234-1504. We would love to take your calls. Josh,
and he mentioned that 2008 Celtics team. I think that's the last time I actually watched the NBA.
I think
Rondo,
it was too.
Pierce, Ray Allen.
I just can't get
good team.
I just can't get myself into watching the NBA anymore. That
was back before politics took over and just
Well,
man.
You're not wrong about that either. We got Josh Hart on the phone. How's it going, Josh?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing this evening?
We're doing well, man.
It's wild seeing you back-to-back nights on the screen.
I know, yeah. Brad texted me. I was actually on the phone with Caden when Brad texted me like yesterday afternoon. And he said, "Hey, can you do a show with me tonight at 8?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." But
he said you saved him. Apparently, that he didn't have nobody else. But I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
We got to talk about a lot of Kentucky stuff, which I would love. So that was just a neat show. It was cool seeing you because I opened it up. I was like, "What in the world was Coleman doing?"
Me and Coleman have done shows by ourselves before, and it's difficult.
I was talking about that with Brad last night. He was like, "Have you ever done?" After we finished up, he's like, "Have you ever tried to do a show by yourself?" And I was like, "Yeah, Kate and I both have." He's like, "Yeah." He said, "I try to do it, and I can only talk so much."
That he's run so many players off.
And sorry about that. I kicked
71. That's just I just couldn't believe it. I knew it was up in the 60s, but I didn't know it had got up that high. I mean, it's just mind blowing that many players is left.
Sorry about that. I kicked myself out of the studio because I get, when you breathe on your Mac wrong, it goes.
Speaking of having to do a show by yourself, I thought I was about to have to.
Yeah. As we're talking about to do a show by herself, I get kicked out of the studio. But so I think we missed the first part of what you said, Josh. But you were talking about Colorado there. You said.
Yeah. I said that that's a lot of players because I knew it was in the 60s. I know it was like 61. I didn't know it had 10 more after that, but
yeah,
it just seems like that's an awful high number to be losing that much talent.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. It's almost the whole team. I mean, that's pretty insane to lose all those guys. But
I seen something today, and I'll tell you another reason I like you guys more in KSR. And I'll talk about Livingston in a minute. I was listening to Matt Jones this morning in my vehicle because I went and got a shoulder, my MRI of my shoulder at the doctor's office this morning to see if, what kind of damage is in it to it from the vehicle wreck I was in.
Right.
And his first line, one of his first lines is like, "Don't look at me like I'm a liberal." And I'm like, that's what I like about your show. There's no politics involved.
Josh was thinking you are a liberal.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say, well, you are a liberal, Matt. So how are we supposed to not look at you like you're a liberal? Yeah, he's
so negative, and it's either his way, and he's had callers call in, and he cuts them off, and he's disrespectful, and he hangs up on them. You guys do none of that, so that's why your show is way better than him and than KSR's. They're just getting too big. I guess he thinks he's untouchable. Well, I think he's fireable too, but I just don't. I guess maybe he's got more likes than he got dislikes.
I will say Matt is much nicer in person, I think, than he is on the radio. Like, he's much more approachable in person.
I did not know that he was a trumpet player, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he did. We were talking about trumpet
middle
players.
School or high school or something.
I think he played in high school. Yeah, Drew Franklin played trombone. Yep. I'm not sure what Ryan probably didn't play anything, but yeah.
But Livingston, I believe he'll go, but I don't think he'll get drafted. I think he's getting really bad information from his handlers, from his people. His camp thinks he's going to get drafted, but I don't think he will. I don't think he's got enough time in. I think he's still super raw. He doesn't have the time, and I just don't think he's going to get drafted.
Yeah. I don't think he will either, but I think, and I know we all are kind of hating on clutch sports, but if there is a reason that he will get drafted, it probably will be them. Like Caden was saying, I think that they just have more clout than anybody and the ability to kind of push him through to be able to get where he wants to go or get some kind of guarantee happening.
I know this is mind-blowing, but I don't think the NBA is all about talent. So I think a lot of it, just like anything else, is who you know, unfortunately. And
what you know is who you know. Yeah.
And I do think Livingston's a good player, but I do think they'll probably help him out a lot and maybe get him a spot high in the second round or something.
Yep.
I think Oscar, he's going for sure now, especially getting invited to the combine. I don't think he would go anywhere else. He loves Kentucky too much to do that to Kentucky. So I think he's
agree.
Unfortunately, I'd like to see him come back, but I think it's a done deal.
Well, we'll see.
What do we do at center then, Josh? Do we go get someone in the transfer portal?
There was a big kid. I can't remember who they're trying to get. There was a big 7'1" guy they were trying to get. They're talking about. Have you seen another rumor they're trying to get some kids from Marshall?
I saw the Marshall kid too. Yeah, I forgot to put that on my list. But yeah, that's another big guy they're trying to get. Is this dude from Marshall, Caden? Have you heard about him?
No, I haven't. But we need a backup center.
Let's see. What's this kid's name? I saw this earlier today. Andrew Taylor from Marshall.
He's from Kentucky.
He's from Corbin. Yeah, from Corbin, Kentucky.
Yes, Corbin.
Yep. So we're going after a bunch of big guys. I'll tell you that.
We got 7-footers in Kentucky.
Oh no, he's 6'3".
I thought we were talking about center.
Yeah, we are talking about center.
We're talking about centers, but
I thought you were saying that was going to be Oscar's replacement. I was like, what?
Well,
no.
Yeah, probably not.
No, I don't know who. That kid we're trying to target. How tall is he? Isn't he like 6?
Yeah.
He's like 6'10", 8.
Yeah.
The kid from San Diego State, ain't he pretty tall?
Yeah, he's pretty tall. He's pretty tall, but like Bradshaw is 7'1", and I still just don't get playing him at the 4. Like, we should play him.
Weren't
at the
there
5.
rumors about that Western kid? That
yes,
center?
but he's not coming to Kentucky.
Oscar made him look silly, so I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's a done deal that he's not coming to Kentucky. So, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what Calipari needs to do. If Oscar's not going to get drafted, then Oscar needs to come back because you're not going to make no money in the D-League. You're not going to be making no money as a second rounder or third. I don't even know how many rounds there is in the NBA because I really don't watch it. But,
yeah.
I just, if you can get $2 million in an NIL deal, why would you leave this atmosphere?
Yeah.
When you can make money here at Kentucky.
Well, I think one thing that's thrown a wrench in things for Oscar is the fact he's not an American citizen. I think if it weren't for that, I think he would certainly come back. But I think that is thrown a wrench, at least on the money side of things, probably.
But didn't he make over $1 million this past year?
I mean, there's been rumors that he made $4 million. So who knows how much he actually made? So I think
it's right around $1 million.
Yeah, it's probably
right.
It was probably 7 digits, but I don't think it was like multi-million or anything.
Nah, it was no 4 million.
Yeah, it was probably like a 7 digits right around there. But well, Josh, got anything else?
No, that's it pretty much. It's been a couple good days to talk about Kentucky. I'm just excited for football season.
Heck yeah.
I think honestly we're going to be 9-3 this year. I really believe that in my heart. We're probably going to lose to Georgia, and I just don't want to lose to Vanderbilt and South Carolina again. So I don't even know if they're on the schedule, but if they are, I don't want to lose to them again because we can't keep on losing the bottom dwellers in the SEC because we're way much better now.
Amen. No, we'll have plenty of time to talk football this summer, especially when Freddie and everything comes on. I want to pick his brain about some of that stuff. So, well, thanks for coming in, calling in as always. Yeah, you too, man. Absolutely.
All right, take care.
See ya. 502-234-1504. If anybody else wants to call in, we will leave the number up there. The phone lines are open, as they say. So you can
you imagine just being in this situation, as a trumpet player in college? Is he gonna come back?
That was
his agent thing. This needs to be like an Onion article.
Who's going to play principal and wind ensemble next year?
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Watch what you say to media.
Yeah, that reminds me. I did see this Onion article this morning, and it says orchestral gong player serenades crush. I thought that was really, really good. I really like that. I also like that the owner of the Onion seems to hate Duke because they're always crapping on Duke. They wrote that article about the NCAA crowns Duke champion, even though UConn won. Is kind of funny. So I like that they're always dunking on Duke kind of thing. The Kentucky Derby, Rocket Can did not win, but he did run a good race. Okay, and he was in third or fourth the entire time until the very end. He dropped to ninth, but we still, we finished top 10. So, I mean, that's good, right? That's not, it could have been worse. So did you get to watch the Derby at all or the rerun?
I watched the rerun. I was out of town when it was happening, and I just missed it. But I watched the rerun. How many horses are there in total?
Well, there's normally 20, but this was the first. There were 5 total horses scratched this year, and then we had to go to the alternates. We ran out of alternates, so there were only 19 this year for the first time in a long time. So
9th out of 19. Well,
yeah,
we could have done worse.
Yeah, it could have been 19th. Yeah. So, but we were 9th instead. So right there in the middle of the pack. So, summer's coming up. We got our great, summer weather coming. Derby's over. Got our summer guest coming on, and it's gonna be good summer. So, what would summer be without ice cream? So, Kate, now I have the list here according to the International Dairy Foods Association of the top 10 ice cream flavors in America. And I want to try, Caden, I want to let you and then our audience guess to see how many of the top 10 you can get. So I've got the list in front of me. So, guess away here.
Okay. So obviously chocolate.
Chocolate is number 2. Yes.
Obviously vanilla and obviously strawberry.
Okay, vanilla is number 1. Strawberry is number 8, which kind of surprises me that it dropped all the way down to 8. Kind of like, Rocket Can dropping down surprised me. But yeah, you got the classic 3 there. Yep.
I'm gonna say mint chocolate chip.
Mint, you're nailing. Mint chocolate chips at number 4. Yes.
I'm gonna say cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream is number 3. Good.
I'm gonna say cookie dough.
Chocolate chip cookie dough is number 5. Yep. He's probably
Rocky
Googling.
Road.
No, not Rocky Road exactly. I mean, it might be similar to Rocky Road, but called something else. But keep guessing.
Yeah,
Josh here.
Butter pecan. That's a good
Josh
one.
here says butter pecan. Butter pecan is number 6. So Josh got one there. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's see how many more we got here. We've got 1, 2, just 2 more, right? No, we got 3 more.
Clyde already said mint chocolate. I think that was on the list, wasn't it, Coleman?
Already said mint chocolate. Yeah, so we've got 3 more here. I'll give you a hint. You already said cookie dough. Okay, I made a mistake. I think I already said this one, so I'll just give it to you. Cookie dough is number 7. Chocolate chip cookie dough is number 5. All right, so that just leaves 2 left. Number 9 and number 10 to go for here. Clyde, we did say cookies and cream too. That's all right.
You said 2 more?
2 more. Number 9 and number 10.
Man,
That's
tough.
Think that there's one flavor that has multiple of the flavors that you already mentioned combined.
Oh, what's it called?
Yeah. Oh, you're think music theory. See, yeah, I'm getting mine or my doctorate is in music theory, so that would be an easy thing for me to think of. But I don't know how good Caden's theory skills are. Since he's been out of the running for a couple years here.
Clyde, I said all these.
But Moose Tracks. Josh got Moose Tracks. That's number 9. Josh is killing it over here. Yeah, so Moose Tracks is number 9.
Yeah, okay. I can't think of the one with all 3. I know there's a term for it.
Yeah, there's the N.
Neapolitan?
Neapolitan. Yeah, like Neapolitan 6 chord. That's it. Flat 2, right? Yeah, just gotta get that flat 2 chord in there. So that's Josh Hart said chocolate fudge swirl. That's very specific. That's not one of them. But yeah, Neapolitan's number 10. So yeah, we did pretty all right with those. So pick up some, one of your favorite ice cream flavors for the summer, and celebrate.
Man, that reminds me, we were driving through Bowling Green the other day and we stopped at Cheney's Dairy Farm. Yeah, I got some mint chocolate chip, but they have like homemade ice cream and they have like awesome food there and everything. It was pretty cool place.
That actually sounds fantastic. The creamery, what's it called? You said
Cheney's Dairy Farm.
Cheney's Dairy Farm. Okay. Josh says he has butter pecan in his freezer. That's number 6, Josh. So yeah, nailing it. There's this ice cream place in Michigan. It's actually ranked by USA Today. It's
in Bourbon too.
In Bourbon too, of course. It's actually ranked as the number 1 ice cream shop in America. It's called Moomers, which is the best name for an ice cream shop ever. The favorite flavor I've gotten there, because I've been there a few times. It's called Cherry's Moobilee. And it's cherry ice cream with like actual dried cherries and like brownie pieces and fudge.
Oh, man.
It's legit. Yeah, I don't know how that's not in the top 10 in America, honestly. So, but Claude, so you can tell I'm not good at these. No, you're good at them. You're just guessing them a little late. Is all. It was just a little after the buzzer. But you were making the shot. It was just after the buzzer. That's all. Josh says, okay, who has the cops running wild in the background? That would be the sound of Baton Rouge.
It ain't Hanson.
Yeah, it's not Hanson. How many stoplights are in Hanson now? 2?
They're 2 now since Walmart moved here.
Okay, Walmart, big city folk. Nice.
Yeah, everyone's mad.
There was actually a
big
ban
city folk taking over.
In Boulder. When I lived in Boulder, I think there was a ban against Walmart. Like Walmart couldn't even build in Boulder. It was like illegal. Like the city had like an ordinance against Walmart, which is kind of hilarious. Yeah.
I bet they have a dollar store though.
I don't think there was a dollar store. You're underestimating.
They have a McDonald's then.
There's McDonald's and a Wendy's.
Get that McDonald's everywhere.
Yeah, there's McDonald's everywhere. That's true. But speaking of groceries, Caden, you gotta pick up at 8:30. You got to do right at is that Kroger?
Yeah, Kroger pickup. I had to pick up some things tonight, so
Kroger's goated, as they say.
Hey, we can do a grocery store tier list. I don't know if we can think of enough places.
That's an idea. We should do that. Absolutely.
Have you ever been to Sprouts?
Yeah, Sprouts is also goated. Yeah.
Yeah, Sprouts is good. They got a lot of fresh meat and vegetables.
We have one.
You don't want to buy anything else. It's going to be 10 times too high.
Yep. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It'd be like Whole Foods or Whole Paycheck. Something else we'll have to do is when we have whole salary. Something else we'll have to do when we have these guest lines. We'll have to put out like a little post or something to where if our fans have questions for any of our guests, we can read some of those and ask those when they're on. So
good idea.
Got quite a lineup, and I've reached out to some more people too, some even bigger names that we'll see if they get on this summer. So little teaser there. But well, Caden, it's been a good one. What's the name of this episode?
Clyde, that's because my brother's not on here.
Yeah, if Jonathan was on here, Shaden Sharp would be on the screen. There's no doubt. Yeah.
And yes, Josh will post that on the page, the 1 year mashup video.
Yeah, and we'll post that on the page, and if you all could share that would be awesome. We would love that. So yeah, we'll put it on our page, and we'll put it on YouTube as well. We do Talkin ice cream.
Yeah, Talkin ice cream, Talkin. What was that flavor you said?
Neapolitan.
No, Moomies.
Oh.
What was it?
It was not movies. That sounds a little. We'd have to mark that episode as explicit if it was movies. But Cherry's Moobilee, but that wasn't in the top 10 list, so I don't think we could put that in the name. Talking 1 year.
Talking
oh
ice
yeah,
cream and bourbon.
I didn't even see that. Josh says talking 1 year.
Oh yeah.
Clyde says talking one. Okay, but the only question is, should we do talking 1 year or talking year one?
Year one sounds like we're freshmen or something.
Talking 1 year or talking year
anniversary.
Oh, you don't like either one of them. Talking
smashed.
No, we already have that.
Yeah.
Okay, talking year one's fine with me.
Okay, so you're just gonna settle on it. Talking year one. I think that's gonna be talking 1 year anniversary is too long. Yeah, talking year one. Let's do that. You cool with that? But we're gonna spell out one. Like it's not gonna be talking the number one. It'll be like talking 1 year or talking year one.
ON3 like KSR.
Yeah, on 3. Talking on 3. Well, for Coleman Scott, for Caden Holmes for year one, and for Cherry's Moobilee, or as Caden says, movies.
Movie.
This has been Talkin
Explicit
Kentucky.
now. Don't Google that.
I know. Yeah, you don't want to Google that. And we'll see y'all next week. Go Cats.